Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter from Eastsook, Vancouver Island, Canada. It is December 2nd. You are joining me for a very quick and fun-y card tonight with some new products that I'm really excited to show you. So I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to flip the camera around and we are going to get started. All right, I'm just going to adjust like I do all the time. Attempt to zoom in. Pretty good, I think. Yeah. All right. So I have got some brand new things that are coming in January from the Celebration brochure and the mini catalog. So if you have never shopped with Stampin' Up before, in January and February, they have a really fun sale called Celebration. And basically it means whenever you spend X amount of dollars, you get to pick something for free out of this brochure. And I'm dying to show you what's in here, but the rules say that I can't. So I'm using some papers from the Celebration that I got in a pre-order, and I'm also using a brand new stamp set and punch that is coming in January in the new mini catalog. So same deal, I can't show you the inside yet, but this is a new stamp set and punch that are coming in the mini catalog. It's called Terrific Toadstools, and some of you may know that this is right up my alley because I love mushroom foraging. It's one of my hobbies. Hey Karen, thanks for tuning in. And then in Celebration, I got some free designer series paper that is all pretty colors and mushroom themed. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I just love it. I love all the bright colors. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you tonight is a super easy card, and I've cased it right out of the Celebration catalog. So even though I can't show you on my live inside the catalog, I'm going to make something out of it. So well, let's get going. Hello, Gail. Hello, Janice. Hey, Nancy. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So last week when I showed everyone how to make the 4-square fun fold card, I gave out the wrong measurements, and I'm sure you might have seen my post. So this time I have written all the measurements down because I don't want to do that to you guys again. And it's literally my menopause brain. So I do apologize if you were trying to make that card and the measurements for the designer series paper weren't quite fitting. It wasn't you, it was me. So I have got a Granny Apple Green cardstock. It is just 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4.25. And according to my post-it note, I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off the card front. So I'm just going to chop off 1.5 inches right off the front of the card. So I'm left with this. So this is like your very basic, super easy fun fold design. All right, now I have got a piece of pattern paper that is 1 3/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm going to glue that down right on the right edge on the inside of the card. And then for the front of the card, I've got a piece of pattern paper from the Celebration catalog, and this is 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. So I will post the measurement photo in the comments of the video after the live if you don't want to write it down. Isn't this just super cute? So this is Melon Mambo and Poppy Parade, and I think these are Peach Pie. So I just love it. I love the colors. I love mushrooms, but if I saw any of these mushrooms growing in the wild, I can tell you already I wouldn't eat them because I'd be very sure that they're poisonous. There's only certain mushrooms I'm really confident about, and those are the only ones that I'll forage and eat. Hey, Nancy. Yes, I did get some catalogs. I ordered a bunch because I can't wait for our single catalog to come via Canada Post. So I had to order. So some of you, I am dropping off some orders, and I am going to bring you copies of the mini catalog and the celebration brochure. You guys know who you are. All right, so I've just glued down that first piece of designer series paper. That was 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. Trust me on the measurements, ladies. I've written it down. And then I'm going to glue this piece, which is the same piece of paper, just a different pattern on the back side. 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. I'm going to glue this down to the edge of the card, but before I glue it, I am going to tie a little bit of twine around this layer and tie a bow. Oops, I've probably cut off more twine than I need, but that's okay. Actually, it's not twine, it's linen thread. I don't know why I always seem to call it twine. All right. So last Monday, my comments were super behind. If I miss your comments, it's not you, it's my computer. I will catch up and read everything if I miss anything tonight. All right, so I've just tied a little bow. Now in the celebration brochure, the loops of the bow were pretty big. And to be honest, I don't love super big loops, so I'm not going to go quite as big. I think that's good enough. And I'm just going to glue that down to the right edge of the card on the inside because I've cut off that 1.5 inches on the front. All right, so this goes, it's a little awkward when you've got this linen thread dangling around because I don't want to glue the ends of the thread underneath this card. All right, so I'm just gluing this down, and luckily the linen thread is thin enough that it still glues down nice and flat. I'm going to go ahead and just trim a little bit. Okay, so this is the basic design for our card. I'm just finagling my loops. And now somewhere else I have got, oh, right here. I've got a circle die cut. I can't remember the diameter. Let me tell you. It's 2.5 inch diameter, and it is a little bit smaller than the sample in the catalog. And I did that on purpose because I don't want to hide too much of this really pretty paper. All right, I'm just going to refresh my computer to make sure I'm not missing comments. I'm paranoid now that I'm going to miss a bunch of comments. I'm totally missing comments. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Hello, Sherry, Jackie, Sheila. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, Robin. Nice to see you on my live. Okay. Now, I have got ready to go this mushroom cap and this mushroom cap. And I'm going to stamp one in Melon Mambo, and the other one I'm going to stamp in Poppy Parade. So I have to remember which one to stamp first because they go in order. So I'm going to stamp the big one first, and I'm going to do this one in Poppy Parade. And then the other one I'll do in Melon Mambo. Now, these colors, I have a really bad habit of getting everywhere, so I have to close up my ink pads. Otherwise, there's going to be ink smudges. I've already got it on my fingers. I don't know how I did that. Hang on, I need to take care of that. Yeah, there's something about these two colors. They just stick to me. They're attracted to me like glue. So as soon as I open up that stamp set, I'm going to have it on my fingers, and then I'm going to transfer it to my card, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so now the new thing with this punch, and I'm not exactly sure if this is for all the punches. I didn't look at everything, but it's designed to cut out your image so you don't have any white border. So that's new, because usually your die cut would just leave the smallest white border around your image, but that's not happening with this punch. So that's kind of cool. All right, let me just shorten down this one piece of paper. So if you are using your punch and you just got a little piece of paper and you just can't quite get it where you need it to go, then stick a Post-it note on it and it's going to give you a little bit of extra leeway. All right. Hey, Phyllis, thanks for tuning in. Oh, thank you, Karen. I am compelling. I'm feeling very compelling tonight. So I like to take my time and just get the image exactly where I want it. And I'm applying just the slightest bit of pressure on that punch so my paper's not sliding around all crazy. And then I'm just popping it out. And again, same with this image. It doesn't leave that white border that we've been seeing on other punches. So I think I might have heard Tanya, the Canadian stamper, mention that that was new with the dies as well. So I'm just using early espresso. I'm going to punch out some stems, and that's all I need this punch for. I'll get this out of the way. All right, so now what I want to do is glue my stems onto my mushroom caps like so, but I've already done that because the stems are really little and I get a lot of glue on my fingers when I do it. And I didn't want you guys to see my crafting fails tonight. So these are pre-glued and I am going to just glue them on to my die cut circle. And this paper, it kind of looks a little like wood grain. And then on the back side, there's a whole bunch of mushroom backgrounds. I think that's fresh freesia. So that's from the same paper pack. I don't know how many paper packs I'm going to get out of Celebration, but I'm going to try for a lot of these ones. All right, I'm getting the Wheel of Death on Facebook. So I really hope you guys aren't getting the Wheel of Death, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself. And I mean, I'm weird, but I try not to be that weird. Okay, one mushroom. I'm going to pop this right about here, closer to the top of that circle. And then I'm going to layer on the smaller mushroom. And stick that right beside it. And then I'm just going to put this a little bit lower. Okay, now I punched out an extra stem because I might make one of these stems a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens. So in the stamp set, I'm going to use the You Are Magical sentiment because I really, well, for two reasons. It's the way the sample card's made in the Celebration catalog, but also I really like the font. I think it's awesome. This is just a banner I cut from, I got to think about it, Stylish Shapes dies. Oh, my comments are catching up. All right, good, good. I see I'm not getting the Wheel of Death. Excellent. Hello, Debbie. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm using Granny Apple Green to match my card base. I'm going to attempt to stamp this without getting my head directly over it, because trust me, you don't want to see the back of my head. It's all frizz. I'm completely off. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to try it again and try to get it a little more centered. That's better. Okay, that's the beauty of cardstock. You can just flip it over and re-stamp it. All right, so this is going to get glued on. I want the edge of my circle to kind of butt up against my linen thread bow. This one side of the bow is not behaving. It's twisting. I don't love it. I don't like it when my loops twist. All right, so what I want to do is glue this circle on. So I'm only going to put glue on 1/3 of the left side of this piece. And I just want to make sure I've got the right side. And then I'm going to glue this down, oops, on the flap. And I'm going to get that edge of the circle close to the knot in my bow. And I was pretty moderate with the glue because I didn't want it to leach out. Exactly, Karen, it is a bad bow. Totally. Okay, so this piece gets popped up right over my mushroom stems, which is why I'm going to just make the bigger mushroom stem just a smidge longer so it sticks out past that banner. Now my glue is misbehaving. There we go. So I'm just going to add just a little bit. I need some like tweezers or something. My fingers aren't working. All right, so I've extended that out just a smidge. That's perfect. And I am going to pop up this banner with 2 dimensionals just on the very edges. Thanks, Sheila. It is cute. Debbie, what kind of glue do I use? What an amazing question. I am, and some of you will know this, I am such a fan of Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. This is pretty much the only adhesive that I use. It gives me a couple of seconds to maneuver the paper around because I never ever lay my paper straight. So it doesn't stick right away. It gives you a minute just to kind of slide the paper around and then you can get it exactly where you want it. And that's so important for me. I just don't do things straight. Now, for the inside piece, it's the same size as the designer series paper. I have got some little mushroom caps that I'm going to stamp on the bottom of my page. And did I say Poppy Parade? I'm going to do them in Poppy Parade. So I was thinking about this mushroom stamp set and how cute it's going to go with that tiny little snail stamp that I was obsessing about last month. So I'm going to crack that. I'm going to find that little snail stamp and I'm going to make some cards with the mushrooms and the snails. So now I've got some stems that I'm going to stamp in Early Espresso. So I'm going to try to line that up without getting my head in the way. So funny story, I was videotaping the Magical Fun Folds class on Friday, and I got up early in the morning so I could videotape it while everybody was still in bed. And it took me about half an hour to go through this card. I'll show you after, as soon as this card's done, I'll show you what it looks like. But it takes half an hour to do it, and it's got a gazillion pieces. And I finished my video. The card looks great. I'm excited. I'm going to post it to the class. And on playback, every time I bend over to glue something down, I get my head in the way of the camera. And it's not just the back of my head. It is my crazy morning frizz. Like, I am a curly-haired girl, and it has been humid out here in BC, so you could just imagine. It wasn't even cute frizz, ladies. It was terrible. So I had to redo. I couldn't do it. I couldn't post the video. It was too bad. I had to redo it. Anyway. Yeah. So while I was telling you the story, what I did was I stamped some little mushroom caps in Poppy Parade. I added some stems, and then I did a little bit of a grass background. That stamp comes with this set as well. And then I was thinking for the inside, I picked up kind of a sassy little stamp set. So this is coming out, I, I can't remember if it's this month or January. It's an online exclusive, and it's got just some really funny, kind of sassy sayings. And I realized I don't really have any stamps like that, so I thought it would be a really good addition for some of my cards. Hello, Twyla. Thanks for tuning in. Maritza, I hope I'm saying that right. Hi, Gina. If I've missed any comments, I will go back and catch up because my computer is not showing me comments in real time. So some of these comments I thought were pretty funny. We've got motherhood, the perfect mix of chaos and love, support wildlife, raise children. Now, isn't that the truth? She believed she could, but she was tired, so she rested. I know exactly who to make that card for. You're doing great, just so you know. That's what I'm going to put on this card because I think it is a perfect card to send somebody for a little pick-me-up, just to remind them that they are amazing and wonderful and all the things. And then this one really resonated with me. You never notice how weird you are until you have a kid that acts just like you. Snap! Well, anyway, so they're kind of funny, and I don't have any sassy stamp sets, so we'll see how much use I'm going to get out of them. But I definitely do have some sassy friends that will probably get a kick out of it. So I'm just going to stamp the sentiment in Granny Apple Green. And that is all the stamping I'm going to do on this card. All right, so again, my very favorite glue. And I'm going to glue this down. So I want it to be fairly close to that score line because I don't want my white cardstock to pop through. I don't want you to see it when the card's closed. So because Tambo gives me a little bit of wiggle room, if I was off, I could easily slide it over. But anyway, that's it. There is tonight's card. So I really hope you like it. I am loving these mushroom stamps. I think they're really fun. I'm going to try to get a ton of use out of it. And when Celebration rolls out in January, I'd imagine I will pick up at least one more pack of this paper because it goes well with the stamp set. That is my only complaint about Celebration, is they'll come out with some beautiful paper and then that's it. Once Celebration is over, you can't get it anymore. And sometimes those papers match stamp sets like this one. So I need to stock up. All right, now before I let you go, I will show you the fun folds that I designed for the Magical Fun Fold class. That was a virtual class only that I collaborated on with my buddy, the Canadian Stamper. So this is the first card I created. This is a faux stair step card. So it stands up on its own. It's got lots of layers because I love layers. And that is it. And then the second one that I designed is called a slimline shutterfold card. So that opens up like so. And you can see this was the one that I videotaped and I kept getting my frizzy bed head in the way of the camera. So I had to redo it and I had to cut out all these pieces all over again. So this one also stands up really beautifully and it was really fun to make. So those were my two designs. Tanya created some beautiful ones as well, but I will confess I haven't made hers yet, but I probably will. That class, like I said, it's available. It is virtual, so all you're getting is access to 4 private videos, a PDF tutorial with all the written instructions, and a bonus template that Tanya made up that's got just some really quick ideas for putting together card templates with all the measurements and things like that. So if you're interested, drop me a comment because anybody in the world can take that virtual class as long as you have PayPal. And I think that's it. So I'm going to flip the camera. I hope you guys like this. Don't mind all my mess. I had a whole bunch of packages show up. So before I let you go, there's 2 things that are happening. For my friends who are local, on December 15th, I'll be hosting a in-person paper crafting workshop. It's not cards, it will be bows, tags, and 3D projects. So if you are local or you don't mind a drive to East Souk, then just let me know if you want to come and I'll sign you up. And then my free online class for December is going to feature the Utterly Amazing stamp set, actually the whole suite. So it's the Utterly Adorable suite. I'll be using these stamps, the papers, the little river rock gems that came with the suite, and the Lost Lagoon twine or ribbon or cord, something like that. So this is coming. I will post this class sometime after Christmas, and it's free. So it doesn't matter where you live, just tune in to my YouTube or my Facebook and you can access those classes. If you live in Canada and you are my customer, then you might get those kits for free because I do like to send out some thank you gifts when people buy their craft supplies from me. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to go back and catch up comments because my laptop is not behaving. And I think that's it. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will see you all next Monday.